The betrayal. The perfect Luna. The morning sun painted the silver moon pack territory in shades of gold and amber. Elena stood on the balcony of the pack house, watching the members go about their morning routines. Children laughed as they ran to training. Elders sat in circles, sharing stories. Everything looked peaceful, perfect even. She smiled, placing a hand over her still flat stomach. Tonight she would tell Marcus the news. After 3 years of trying, she was finally pregnant. Their heir would unite the pack even more strongly. She imagined Marcus's face lighting up with joy, imagined him lifting her and spinning her around like he used to when they first mated. Elena had been Luna for 5 years now. She had dedicated every moment to the pack's well-being. Her healing gift, passed down through her mother's line, had saved countless lives. The pack members loved her. They brought her flowers, shared their problems, and trusted her completely. "There you are," Cassandra's cheerful voice called from behind. "I've been looking everywhere for you." Elena turned to face her best friend. Cassandra had been by her side since childhood. When Elena's parents died in a rogue attack, Cassandra's family had taken her in. They were closer than sisters. Cassandra was the beta's sister, beautiful and confident, always knowing the right thing to say. "I was just thinking," Elena said, pulling Cassandra into a hug, "about how blessed I am." "You deserve all the blessings," Cassandra said, squeezing her tight. "You're the best Luna this pack has ever seen. Even better than Marcus's mother, and she was legendary." They sat together on the balcony, drinking tea and gossiping about pack matters. Elena felt warm inside. She had everything. A loving husband, a best friend she trusted completely, a pack that respected her, and now a baby on the way. If only she had known that perfection was just an illusion, carefully crafted to hide the rot underneath. The discovery. That evening, Elena prepared Marcus's favorite dinner herself. She wanted everything to be special for the announcement. She hummed while cooking, imagining their future. Maybe a girl with Marcus's dark hair and her green eyes, or a boy with his father's strength and his mother's gentle heart. She finished early and decided to surprise Marcus in his office. He had been working late recently, stressed about pack finances and border security. She would give him the best news to lift his spirits. Elena walked through the quiet hallways of the pack house. Most members were at dinner or settling in their homes. She carried a basket with Marcus's favorite foods and a small wrapped box containing a pair of tiny shoes she had bought that morning. As she approached Marcus's office, she heard voices inside. Marcus and Cassandra. That wasn't unusual. As Beta's sister, Cassandra often helped with pack business. But something about their tone made Elena pause. "When will you finally do it?" Cassandra's voice was sharp, impatient. "We've been waiting for 5 years. "I know," Marcus replied, sounding tired. "But the pack loves her. If I reject her now without proper cause, they'll riot." Elena's hand froze on the door handle. "Reject her? Then create a cause," Cassandra hissed. "Accuse her of something. Plant evidence. I don't care how you do it, but I'm tired of playing second to that weak, pathetic woman. You promised me the Luna position. You promised me everything." Elena's heart stopped beating. She couldn't breathe. This had to be a misunderstanding. "I did promise," Marcus said, and there was something soft in his voice, something Elena had thought was reserved only for her. "And you'll have it all, my love. Just be patient a little longer." The sound of kissing followed. Elena dropped the basket. The crash echoed through the hallway like thunder. The office door flew open. Marcus and Cassandra stood there. Cassandra's lipstick smeared, Marcus's shirt disheveled. For one frozen moment, they all stared at each other. Then Cassandra smiled. It was not the warm, friendly smile Elena knew. It was cruel, victorious, the smile of a predator who finally caught her prey. "Well," Cassandra said lightly, "I guess we don't need to wait anymore." The execution plan. Elena ran. She didn't know where she was going, only that she needed to get away. Her mind couldn't process what she had seen and heard. 5 years. They had been planning this for 5 years, since before Marcus even married her. Every kiss had been a lie. Every "I love you" had been poison. Every moment of happiness had been built on betrayal. Strong hands grabbed her before she reached the main door. Beta Thomas, Cassandra's brother, held her firmly. Other pack warriors surrounded her, their faces cold and unfamiliar. "Let me go." Elena struggled, but Thomas was too strong. Marcus walked up slowly, straightening his clothes. The man she loved, the man she thought she knew, looked at her with empty eyes. "Elena," he said formally, "you are hereby accused of conspiring with rogues, embezzling pack funds, and plotting to murder the Alpha." "What?" Elena couldn't believe what she was hearing. "That's insane. I would never." "We have evidence," Cassandra said, appearing beside Marcus. She held up documents that Elena had never seen before. "Your signature on agreements with rogue leaders. Bank records showing you stealing from pack accounts. Letters detailing your murder plans. Those are fake."
Elena shouted.
"You know they're fake." But the pack warriors wouldn't meet her eyes. The few pack members who had gathered to watch looked uncertain, confused, but not disbelieving. Cassandra and Marcus had done their work well. "As Alpha of the Silver Moon Pack," Marcus declared, his voice carrying authority, "I hereby reject you, Elena Hartwood, as my mate and Luna. May the moon goddess sever our bond." The pain was immediate and excruciating. Elena screamed as the mate bond ripped apart, feeling like her soul was being torn in half. She collapsed to the floor, gasping, crying, unable to breathe through the agony. "Take her to the Forbidden Valley," Marcus ordered. "Let the wilds judge her crimes." The Forbidden Valley. Everyone knew what that meant. No one who entered that cursed place ever returned. It was filled with poisonous plants, deadly creatures, and ancient magic that drove people insane. "No," Elena whispered, clutching her stomach, thinking of the baby growing inside her. "Please, Marcus."
"I'm pregnant."
"Your child." "Lies," Cassandra said coldly. "More of your desperate lies. You're barren, Elena. Everyone knows it. 3 years of trying and nothing? You're defective." Elena looked up at Marcus, hoping for some sign of humanity, some flicker of the man she thought she loved. But his face remained stone cold. "The child isn't mine anyway," he said. "She's probably been sleeping with rogues all along. They dragged her away while she screamed and fought." The pack watched in silence. No one defended her. No one spoke up. They had already accepted Cassandra as their new Luna. Elena had been erased as easily as wiping away a stain. The mysterious savior. The Forbidden Valley was worse than the story said. Elena was thrown through the barrier, landing hard on rocky ground. Her body ached from the bond breaking and the rough treatment. Blood dripped from cuts on her arms and legs. She crawled forward, not knowing where to go. The valley was dark even though it was barely evening. Strange sounds echoed from all directions. Glowing eyes watched from the shadows. Elena didn't care anymore. Let the valley kill her. Let something end this pain. She had lost everything. Her mate, her pack, her best friend, her home, her identity. She was Luna no more. She was nothing. "Stand up, child." The voice was ancient, powerful, and female. Elena looked up through tears and saw a massive white wolf standing before her. But this was no ordinary wolf. It shimmered with silver light, partially transparent, ancient beyond measure. "Who are you?"
Elena whispered.
"I am the spirit of the first Luna," the wolf said, "the original mother of all wolf shifters. I have waited centuries for one of my true bloodline to enter this sacred place." "Your bloodline?" Elena struggled to sit up. "I don't understand." "Your mother never told you," the spirit said gently. "She was my direct descendant. The healing gift you carry is not common, child. It is royal. It is ancient. And it is far more powerful than you ever imagined." The spirit wolf circled Elena slowly. "You have been betrayed by those you trusted, rejected by the one you loved, cast out by the pack you served. But I offer you a choice. You can die here, broken and forgotten, Or you can accept your true heritage and rise from these ashes stronger than ever before. What do you want from me? Elena asked. A promise, the spirit said, that you will use the power I give you with wisdom, that you will not let hatred consume you. Revenge is natural, child. But revenge without justice is just another form of poison. Can you promise me that whatever you do, you will not become like those who hurt you? Elena thought about the baby inside her, thought about surviving long enough to bring her child into the world safely, thought about Marcus and Cassandra's faces when they realized what they had thrown away. I promise, Elena said firmly, I will have my revenge, but I will not become a monster to achieve it. The spirit wolf smiled, showing teeth that gleamed like diamonds. Then accept my gift, daughter of my blood. Accept the power that is your birthright. The wolf dissolved into pure silver light and flowed into Elena. Power surged through her body like lightning. The cuts on her skin healed instantly. The pain from the broken bond faded to a dull ache. Her pregnancy settled, protected by magic stronger than any she had known. But most importantly, Elena felt her true self awakening. Not the gentle, soft Luna who had let others take advantage of her kindness. Not the trusting fool who had believed pretty lies. But a warrior, a leader, a force of nature that would not be ignored or dismissed. Rising from ashes. 3 years passed in the Forbidden Valley, but they did not pass quietly. Elena built a home in the heart of the cursed land. She learned that the valley wasn't forbidden because it was dangerous. It was forbidden because it was powerful. The ancient magic that flowed through this place responded to her blood, recognized her as kin. She trained every day. Combat forms taught by the spirits of ancient Luna warriors. Magic techniques lost for centuries. Political strategies and manipulation tactics that would make even the cruelest alpha nervous. She learned to fight with weapons, with magic, with words, and with silence. But Elena's greatest achievement was her daughter. Little Aurora was born on the night of a blood moon. She came into the world screaming with power that shook the valley. Her eyes glowed silver from birth, marking her as something unprecedented. A child born from a broken mate bond, conceived in love but baptized in betrayal, carrying the blood of the first Luna. Elena raised her daughter in secret, teaching her everything. Aurora grew faster than normal pups, stronger, smarter, more powerful. By age 3, she could shift between wolf and human forms easily. She could heal injuries with a touch. And she had inherited Elena's strategic mind and fierce determination. Mama, Aurora asked one evening while they sat by their fire, why do we live alone? Why don't we have a pack? Elena looked at her beautiful daughter, this miracle child who should not exist according to Cassandra's cruel words. Because sometimes, my love, you have to leave what's broken behind to build something better. Will we build something better? Aurora asked. Yes, Elena promised. Yes, we will. During those 3 years, Elena also built a network. The Forbidden Valley connected to secret paths that led throughout the territories. She found outcasts, rogues who had been unjustly exiled, pack members who had been betrayed like her. She found warriors with no home, healers with no patience, wolves who wanted to belong to something real. She built an army, not of mindless soldiers, but of loyal followers who believed in her vision of justice. And she gathered information. Every whisper about the Silver Moon Pack reached her ears eventually. She learned that Marcus's leadership had become cruel and paranoid, that Cassandra ruled through fear and manipulation, that pack members disappeared when they questioned authority, that the territory was suffering under corrupt management. She learned that Marcus and Cassandra had married 6 months after Elena's exile, that they had no children yet, despite Cassandra's constant pregnancies that always ended in mysterious miscarriages, that Marcus drank heavily now, haunted by nightmares he wouldn't discuss, that Cassandra's beauty had hardened into something sharp and bitter. The Silver Moon Pack was rotting from the inside, poisoned by its own leadership. It's time, Elena said one morning, looking at her reflection in the pool of water. She had changed so much. Stronger, more confident, eyes that held ancient wisdom. She no longer looked like the soft Luna who had been cast out. She looked like what she truly was, royalty. "Time for what, Mama?" Aurora asked, playing with a butterfly made of silver light. "Time to go home," Elena said. "Time to show them what they threw away. Time for them to understand that you can only bury someone alive if they stay buried." She dressed in clothes befitting an alpha. Black leather and silver silk, expensive and powerful. She arranged her hair in an elaborate style that showed off her elegant neck. She wore jewelry that screamed wealth and authority. When Elena walked out of the Forbidden Valley for the first time in 3 years, the barrier parted for her like a curtain. Behind her came her followers, 50 strong wolves who had pledged their loyalty to the true Luna. And beside her walked Aurora, dressed as a little princess, her silver eyes gleaming with excitement for the adventure ahead. The Silver Moon Pack was having their anniversary celebration in 2 weeks. Every Alpha and Luna from surrounding territories would attend. It would be the perfect stage for Lady Celine's debut. Marcus and Cassandra had no idea that the ghost they had tried to bury was about to walk through their front door. The return. The grand return. The Silver Moon Pack had never looked more beautiful. Lanterns hung from every tree, their warm light creating a magical atmosphere. Tables overflowed with food and wine. Music filled the air as pack members danced and celebrated 5 years of Marcus's rule. Though few remembered, it was also 5 years since Elena's exile. Alphas and Lunas from 12 territories arrived in expensive cars and elegant clothes. This anniversary celebration was Marcus's attempt to prove his pack's prosperity and his leadership strength. He needed allies. Rumors had been spreading about his harsh treatment of pack members, about mysterious disappearances, about corruption. Cassandra stood beside him in a stunning red dress, playing the perfect Luna. She smiled and greeted guests, but her eyes were cold. 5 years of marriage and still no heir. Marcus blamed her, though he never said it aloud. She knew he regretted rejecting Elena sometimes, especially when he was drunk and his guard was down. "Alpha Marcus," Beta Thomas announced. "Lady Celine of the Northern Frost Pack requests entry." Marcus frowned. "I didn't invite anyone from the Northern Frost Pack. They're too small and remote to matter." Apparently, Lady Celine recently inherited her father's territory and wealth, Thomas explained. "She's very influential now. It would be rude to turn her away." Cassandra's eyes narrowed. Something felt wrong. "What does she look like, this Lady Celine?" Thomas shrugged. "Beautiful. Dark hair, elegant. She travels with her daughter and an impressive guard. Very wealthy, judging by her jewelry. Dark hair. Not white like Elena's had been." Cassandra relaxed slightly. "Let her in. More guests mean more witnesses to our success." But when Lady Celine entered the celebration, every conversation stopped. She was stunning. Not in a soft, gentle way like Elena had been, but in a powerful, commanding way that made everyone turn to look. Her black hair cascaded down her back in perfect waves. Her dress was midnight blue silk that cost more than most pack members earned in a year. Diamonds glittered at her throat and wrists. Her green eyes swept across the crowd with cool assessment. Behind her walked a little girl, perhaps 3 years old, with the same dark hair and an adorable face. The child wore a silver dress and held her mother's hand confidently. And behind them came 50 warriors, all wearing matching uniforms that marked them as elite guards. Marcus felt his breath catch. Something about this woman called to him, pulled at something deep in his chest. But that was impossible. His mate bond had been severed years ago. Lady Celine walked directly to him and Cassandra, her steps graceful and deliberate. When she reached them, she smiled, and it was like watching a wolf bare its teeth. "Alpha Marcus," she said, her voice smooth as honey and sharp as a blade.
Luna Cassandra.
"Thank you for welcoming me to your celebration. I've heard so much about the Silver Moon Pack." "The pleasure is ours, Lady Celine," Marcus said, unable to look away from those green eyes. Why did they seem familiar? "Welcome to our territory." "Your territory is lovely," Celine said, glancing around. Though I notice it's not quite as prosperous as it was 5 years ago. The eastern farms seem neglected. The training grounds need repair. And your pack members look tired. The insult was delivered so sweetly that it took a moment to register. Cassandra's face flushed with anger. Our pack is doing perfectly well, she snapped. Perhaps northern standards are simply lower. Celine's smile widened. Perhaps. Or perhaps good leadership shows in the happiness of the people, not just the beauty of the decorations. She turned to the little girl beside her. Aurora, greet the Alpha and Luna properly. Aurora curtsied perfectly, but her silver eyes studied Marcus and Cassandra with an intensity that was unsettling in a child so young. Hello, Aurora said politely. Mama says we should always be respectful, even to people who don't deserve it. Several nearby guests choked on their drinks. Marcus didn't know whether to be offended or amused. Your daughter is spirited, he said carefully. My daughter is honest, Celine corrected. A rare quality these days. So many people hide behind lies and pretty words. Her gaze locked onto Cassandra. Don't you agree, Luna? Cassandra paled slightly, but recovered quickly. Honesty without tact is just cruelty. And cruelty disguised as honesty is just cowardice, Celine countered smoothly. The tension was thick enough to cut. Other guests watched with fascination, sensing drama but not understanding its source. Marcus stepped between them. Please, Lady Celine, enjoy the celebration. We can discuss pack politics another time. Of course, Celine said graciously. She took Aurora's hand and walked toward the refreshment tables, her guards following at a respectful distance. But as she passed Cassandra, she paused and leaned in close. Her whisper was so soft that only Cassandra heard it. Hello, old friend. Did you miss me? Cassandra's blood turned to ice. That voice, those eyes. No, it wasn't possible. She grabbed Marcus's arm urgently. We need to talk. Now. Planting seeds of doubt. In Marcus's private office, Cassandra paced like a caged animal. It's her, she hissed. I know it's her. Marcus poured himself a drink. Who?
Elena.
Cassandra practically screamed. Lady Celine is Elena. Marcus stared at her. That's impossible. Elena is dead. The Forbidden Valley killed her years ago. And Lady Celine looks nothing like Elena. Dark hair, different face structure, completely different presence. Magic can change appearances, Cassandra insisted. Those eyes, Marcus. Those green eyes. The way she looked at me. She knows. She knows everything. You're being paranoid, Marcus said, but doubt crept into his voice. That strange pull he had felt toward Lady Celine. Even if it was her, which it's not, what could she do? She has no proof of anything. We made sure of that. We need to kill her, Cassandra said flatly, before she ruins everything. Kill a visiting alpha? Marcus laughed bitterly. That would definitely ruin everything. Every pack in the region would declare war on us. Then we discredit her. Find dirt on her. Make her leave. Fine, Marcus agreed, mostly to calm Cassandra down. I'll have Thomas investigate her background. But I think you're seeing ghosts. Meanwhile, in the celebration, Lady Celine was making friends. She approached a group of pack elders who sat together, clearly uncomfortable at the lavish party while their own families struggled. Forgive my intrusion, Celine said warmly, but I wanted to compliment you on raising such strong pack members. I've heard wonderful things about the Silver Moon Pack's history. Elder Margaret smiled sadly. The history, yes, but the present is not so wonderful. Really? Celine sat down, genuinely interested. Aurora climbed into her lap. What troubles your pack? The elders exchanged glances. They shouldn't speak against their alpha. But this foreign Luna seemed kind, and they were so tired of holding their pain inside. Taxes have tripled in 5 years, Elder Robert said quietly. Many families can't afford to eat properly. The alpha says it's for security, but we see no improvements. Pack members who question decisions disappear, Elder Margaret added. My grandson asked about the missing funds from the community center. He was exiled for spreading discord. And the Luna, another elder whispered. She's cruel. Nothing like our former Luna Elena, who was kind and gentle. Celine's expression remained sympathetic, but inside, her heart burned with vindication. The pack remembered her. They still loved her. What happened to Luna Elena? She asked innocently. Accused of terrible crimes and cast into the Forbidden Valley, Elder Margaret said, tears in her eyes. But many of us never believed she was guilty. Elena would never betray the pack. She loved us too much. She sounds remarkable, Celine said softly. It's tragic when good people are destroyed by lies. She spent the rest of the evening moving through the crowd, talking to pack members, listening to their complaints and fears. She learned everything about how Marcus and Cassandra had run the pack into the ground. And she made sure to drop subtle hints about her own pack's prosperity, her fair leadership, her concern for the common wolves. By the end of the night, dozens of pack members looked at Lady Celine with hope in their eyes, and at their own leaders with growing doubt. The truth begins to surface. The next morning, Lady Celine requested a private meeting with Alpha Marcus to discuss potential trade agreements. Marcus agreed, eager to secure an alliance with such a wealthy pack. They met in his office. Celine arrived with Aurora and 2 guards, along with several documents. I've prepared a generous trade proposal, Celine said, spreading papers across his desk. My territory has abundant resources that your pack needs. In exchange, I would like access to your southern hunting grounds. Marcus scanned the documents. The proposal was incredibly favorable to him. Too favorable. Why such generosity? He asked suspiciously. Because I believe in helping packs in need, Celine said simply. And your pack is clearly in need, Alpha Marcus. Your financial records are public knowledge among Alpha circles. You're nearly bankrupt. Marcus's jaw tightened. That's not public knowledge. It is when you borrow money from 5 different Alpha banks and default on payments, Celine said, pulling out more documents. It is when your beta embezzles funds and you're too incompetent to notice. It is when you execute loyal pack members to hide your own failures. She slid a thick file across the desk. Marcus opened it with shaking hands. Inside were detailed records of every corrupt transaction, every hidden payment, every lie he and Cassandra had told. Bank statements showing money flowing from the pack treasury into personal accounts. Witness testimonies from pack members about wrongful exiles and executions. Evidence of fraud, embezzlement, and murder. Where did you get this? Marcus demanded. I have friends in many places, Celine said calmly. Friends who believe in justice. Friends who remember what your pack used to be before you destroyed it. Aurora tugged on her mother's sleeve. Mama, is this the bad man you told me about? Yes, darling, Celine said, never taking her eyes off Marcus. This is the man who threw away the best thing that ever happened to him. Marcus's face went white.
Elena.
Celine smiled, and with a wave of her hand, the magic disguising her appearance melted away. Her dark hair lightened to pure white. Her facial features shifted slightly, becoming the woman he had rejected 3 years ago, but stronger, more beautiful, more powerful. Hello, Marcus, Elena said in her true voice. Surprised to see me alive? Marcus couldn't breathe. His heart pounded. The mate bond, severed years ago, suddenly flared back to life with agonizing intensity. His wolf howled with recognition and regret. How? He whispered. You threw me into the Forbidden Valley, expecting me to die, Elena said coldly. Instead, I found my true heritage. I am a direct descendant of the first Luna, Marcus. The power you rejected, the woman you called weak and barren, carries blood older and stronger than yours could ever be. She gestured to Aurora. And this is your daughter, the child you said couldn't exist, the heir you claimed I could never give you. Marcus stared at the little girl. Silver eyes exactly like his mother's. The family resemblance was unmistakable. His daughter. He had a daughter. Aurora, he breathed. Don't speak to her, Elena snapped. You have no right. You abandoned her before she was born. You tried to murder us both. I didn't know, Marcus said desperately. Elena, I swear, I didn't know you were pregnant. Would it have mattered? Elena asked. Would you have suddenly developed a conscience? You planned my destruction for 5 years, Marcus. 5 years of lies while you slept beside me, while I trusted you, while I loved you. She stood, gathering her documents. I'm not here to kill you. That would be too easy. I'm here to destroy everything you built on my suffering. I'm here to show the pack who you really are. And then I'm going to take it all away from you, piece by piece, until you understand what it feels like to lose everything. Elena, please. Lady Celine, she corrected icily. Elena died in that valley. I'm what rose from her ashes. She walked to the door, then paused. Oh, and Marcus? That file I showed you? I've sent copies to every alpha in the region. By tomorrow, everyone will know what kind of leader you really are. I suggest you start preparing your defense. Cassandra's desperation. The revelation spread through the pack like wildfire. Lady Celine was Elena. The exiled Luna had returned, and she had proof of every crime Marcus and Cassandra had committed. Cassandra's world was falling apart. Pack members who had feared her now whispered openly. The visiting alphas looked at her with disgust instead of respect. And worst of all, Marcus wouldn't stop staring at that child, his daughter, with longing and regret. We have to discredit her, Cassandra hissed that night in their bedroom. Say she faked the documents. Say she's using dark magic to manipulate everyone. She is using dark magic, Marcus said quietly. But that doesn't make her wrong about us. Cassandra slapped him. How dare you? I gave up everything for you. I destroyed my friendship with Elena, betrayed my pack principles, became a monster, all so we could be together. I never asked you to do any of that, Marcus said tiredly. You wanted power. I don't even know what I wanted anymore. You wanted me, Cassandra insisted desperately. You love me. Remember. But Marcus was looking out the window toward the guest house where Elena and Aurora were staying. I think I confused wanting you with not appreciating what I had. Cassandra felt panic rising. She was losing him, losing everything. No, she wouldn't let Elena win. The next night, Cassandra made her move. She waited until the pack was asleep, then crept toward the guest house. She had a knife laced with silver poison. One quick strike, and Elena would die before she could heal herself. The daughter, too. Remove them both, and everything could go back to normal. Cassandra picked the lock and slipped inside. The house was dark and quiet. She moved toward the bedroom where Elena slept. But when she raised the knife, lights suddenly blazed to life. Elena stood across the room, fully dressed, arms crossed. I was wondering when you'd try something this stupid. Cassandra spun around. The doors and windows were blocked by Elena's guards. She was trapped. You were always predictable, Cassandra, Elena said. Always taking the coward's way out. Kill anyone who threatens you instead of actually earning their respect. You ruined my life, Cassandra screamed. Everything was perfect until you came back. Your life.
Elena laughed bitterly.
You stole my mate, my pack, my home, and tried to murder me. But I ruined your life. Yes. Cassandra lunged with the knife. Elena didn't move. Aurora stepped out of the shadows, and with a wave of her small hand, Cassandra froze in midair, held by invisible power. My daughter is 3 years old, Elena said calmly, and she's already more powerful than you'll ever be. That's what true bloodline means, Cassandra. Not the lies you told yourself to justify your betrayal. She nodded to her guards. Take her to Marcus. Let him see what his Luna really is. They dragged Cassandra out, still frozen by Aurora's magic, and threw her at Marcus's feet in the main hall. By now, the commotion had woken the pack. Everyone gathered to watch. Your Luna just tried to assassinate me and my daughter in our sleep, Elena announced. Cowardly, dishonorable, but not surprising. Marcus looked at Cassandra with disgust and disappointment. Is this who we've become? Is this what I've become? Cassandra finally broke free of the magic. She scrambled to Marcus's feet, clinging to his legs. Please, Marcus, I did it for us, for our future. She's trying to steal you away from me. He was never yours to keep, Elena said. He was mine. You stole him through lies and manipulation. And now everyone sees the truth. Pack members murmured agreement. The evidence Elena had presented, combined with Cassandra's assassination attempt, had turned them completely against their Luna. I challenge you, Cassandra said suddenly, standing up. Traditional Luna challenge. Let the moon goddess decide who's worthy.
Elena smiled.
You want to fight me? After everything you've seen my daughter do? After knowing my true bloodline? Are you scared? Cassandra taunted. No, Elena said.
I'm disappointed.
You still don't understand. This isn't about strength or power. It's about justice. And justice has already been served. She turned to the pack. I don't want to be your Luna again. I don't want this pack that threw me away so easily. But I do want to give you a choice. Stay here under corrupt leadership, or come with me and build something better. Marcus's realization. The silence was deafening. Then Elder Margaret stepped forward. I'll go with you, Lady Elena. And I, said Elder Robert. Me too, said a young warrior.